Hello everybody! The Music Fan is back, bringing smiles to the faces, knowledge to the people, and most importantly, music to the masses. And I am back with another Are You In? The first of 3 this week. You heard me correctly, 3. It's because last week I got a little bit busy and wasn't able to put out an Are You In, so I wanted to put this one out this week and then give you 2 brand new ones as well. If you checked out my last video about No More Dating Through Discographies, I mentioned I'm going to be doing 2 Are You Ins weekly now. The first one on Wednesdays is going to be one from somewhere earlier in the year. Usually I'll be looking at something like maybe March or April, something that I just didn't have time to go over, or something new that I listened to that I wanted to go over. The second on Sunday are going to be something within the last couple of weeks. So bear that in mind. And then on Fridays, I will be doing the 5-minute theory. So we'll now have 5-minute theory Fridays. Say that 5 times fast. Anyways, enough talking. Today we are looking at the latest and final album from the Cranberries entitled In the End. Now, the Cranberries were an alt-rock / Celt rock / pop rock band from Limerick, Ireland. Members including Mike Hogan on bass and backing vocals, Noel Hogan on lead and occasional rhythm guitar and backing vocals, Fergal Lawler on drums, and Dolores O'Riordan on lead vocals, rhythm, and occasional lead guitar and keyboards. Previous albums include Everybody Else Is Doing It, So Why Can't We in 1992, No Need to Argue in 94, To the Faithful Departed in 96, Bury the Hatchet in 99, Wake Up and Smell the Coffee in 2001, Roses in 2012, and Something Else in 2017. Now, I can honestly say that I've never listened to a full entire Cranberries album, but I have loved a lot of their big singles. Of course, we're talking about Dreams, we're talking about Linger, and we're talking about Zombie, to name a few. Now, of course, the reason why this is the last album by the Cranberries is because of last year, Dolores O'Riordan passed away unexpectedly, and we found out that it was an accidental suicide. Basically, she had been drinking in the bath and drowned, which is honestly a horrible way to go. They had been working on this album at the time. It had been brought up to me to take a look at it. I was remembered by a couple of friends that they were putting this out, and I wanted to take a look and see how the end of an era, if you will, panned out. First off, again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Cranberries. I don't know what most of their discography sounds like, other than some of their big singles, but I will say that this album is more beautiful arrangements rather than more in-your-face rock arrangements. This is more the pop rock side than the alt-rock side. Starting off, we get the lead single, All Over Now, which is my favorite song on the album. It kind of reminds me, just the arrangement, it kind of reminds me of Hot Thoughts from the Spoon album last year. What I really, really like about it is the energy, as well as the harmonies are really good on both the bridge and on the chorus. There's an interesting harmony that's a 7th apart, so you have the C, do, and then you have up in the higher range, we have a 7th apart of B flat, the a really nice harmony that you don't usually hear. I think the way that the harmonies work together is very, very cool and makes for an awesome opener. Moving right along, we have Wake Me When It's Over as my next favorite song. It feels very much 90s, but it also does not feel too outdated. What I like about it is this more acoustic ideas on the song, and when those acoustic parts come in, it makes the bass part that isn't really, complex, but it makes it stand out in its emotion that I really enjoy. And then, of course, it does get to a more heavier chorus, kind of on the lines of Zombie, pretty powerful in general. What I also love is Dolores' approach to the lyrics in here. There's much more staccato nature on the verses, and then it gets to this more legato idea on pre-chorus and the chorus itself. My next favorite song on here is Got It, which is really fun. Another one that is more jingly pop than it is the harder rock to it. What I do enjoy is the chord progression, and the melody on the chorus is really, really addicting. The verse melody isn't as interesting, but I think the rest of the song more than makes up for that. Catch Me If You Can is one of the 2 songs on here that has any sort of orchestration on there. And what I like about this one is a very slow build that goes and gets to a very powerful ending. It is one of the better Dolores vocals on the album. The strings add a nice touch to this arrangement because few songs actually have that instrumentation on this album. It's short and simple. What does well is the building, especially later with the strings, as well as the more activity with the drums on the bridge part. As I go down a list of my favorite songs on here, you keep getting some very solid ones. The Place I Know being a more low-key song, very slow song, and one with another beautiful chorus melody, a lot of really good chorus melodies on this. But also the fact that Dolores uses her low range very well to contrast the motion of the chorus melody. Very soft, very beautiful. Summer Song is more of a jingly pop song with some energetic drums. And what I enjoy is they play around with the timing of the choruses, which is really cool. And to round off the what I think are very solid songs on here, Crazy Heart has some very colorful chords, at points using 9th and 7th chords in the chord progression. But really, really a solid chorus melody again, making for a very simple and effective song. Now we're getting to, unfortunately, the last 4 being not the best. Illusion is very calm, maybe the most calm song on the album. It makes for a nice song in general, but I think the choruses are a little bit too cheesy for me, and some of the melodies in general are a little bit too cheesy. And then the last 2 that I think are meh in general are The Pressure and Lost. The Pressure has a little bit more energy than a lot of the other songs, but I think the vocals sound a little bit too weird, and it just doesn't stand out to me in comparison to the rest of the album. And then Lost is not horrible, but I think it's just meh in general. And another song that the vocals sound a little bit weird at times, especially the going up into Lost. And then it also just sounds like it's been mixed a little bit weird. When you get to the Bring in the Night part, it feels like it's a different mix from the rest of the other song. Orchestral parts add a nice touch, but it isn't as interesting as the orchestrated parts on Catch Me If You Can. And in general, it just drags on a little bit too long for me. But this album does end on a nice and simple song in the end. It's a beautiful way to end the album and the Cranberries as a whole. It's a simple song that's talking about life, and it's just a nice way of wrapping up what this album is. A lot of very beautiful, simplistic arrangements, not so much on the rock side, but more of the pop side, and more of the just sedated rock, if you will. Lyrically, a lot of these songs are dealing with nostalgia, whether it's illusion, looking back at a crush that you had on someone but the person doesn't really return the feelings, or if it's Crazy Heart where it's looking at someone now and asking to go where their heart leads, but not hurt people while doing that, while going along the path. And again, trying to take it back to what they have done in the past. Summer Song is talking about summer fling from earlier when life was more simple. Catch Me If You Can is talking about the passage of the time and how things move quickly as we go along. Place I Know is looking back at some sort of relationship. I think it's between a mother and her child, and how things were complicated at first, but hoping to start again somewhere where there's more peace. Waking When It's Over is about holding on to a secret from the past that they just can't let go. And Loss is looking at longing for someone who they are lost without. There are other songs like Got It, which is, I think, an interesting one, is about not losing yourself and what you stood for when the societal norms change or when the generations come and go, knowing that you may not be what the spotlight is anymore. All Over Now is about a couple where the woman tries to hide an abusive relationship with a fling and how that coming out ends the relationship. And The Pressure is about what else but a significant other helping someone when everything seems to be falling apart. But in the end, ties everything together in a nice bow, talking about finding peace in the memories and experiences that one has had rather than the materialistic concepts, because one day that will be long gone. And that could also be an analogy for this band in general, knowing that like they have been popular, but what the most important things for this band was the love that they had for the music and the memories that they created. It is a really beautiful album, and one that makes me want to look back at their previous stuff and see how they got from here. I think this is a solid way of ending their time with the band. And yeah, there's a couple of parts that I'm not a huge fan of. Loss isn't that interesting to me. The Pressure isn't that interesting to me. Illusion is a little bit too cheesy. But a lot of this album is very solid. It has a lot of great hooks and great melodies that make up for some of the lackluster parts. So if you are a Cranberries fan, definitely take a look and see how this band ends. And if you're just an alt-rock, jingly rock kind of person in general, take a look. It's a fun album to listen to, and a pretty short album as well. So that is my time. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like or hate this album and your reasons why. Share this with friends, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel so you can see more arguments like this. So tomorrow I'll be back with another Are You In? Until then, this is Music Fan, and I'm signing off.